but let's give a shout out to all the other performers tonight. I think what we can take away is 15 years ago, Muslims became popular. And not in like a good Pokemon Go way. I'm talking about like in a bad iPhone 7 doesn't have a headphone jack on it. And, you know, people change after 9/11. You know, some girls took off their hijabs, dudes shaved their beards, Alis became owls, Muhammad became Moes. And it's warranted. It was scary being Muslim. Like, my friend, we went to Costa Rica, his name is Suleiman. We come back, we're trying to enter the country, and he gets stopped by immigration. Why? Because he went to Saudi Arabia like 5 years ago to visit his family. And they question him for like 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. I'm just sitting there, like, dude, where is Suleiman? He finally comes back and he just explains to me, like, dude, there's another Suleiman, and he's on the watch list. And I was like, what? He's on the watch list. And it blew my mind that just a simple name mix-up could get you on a list. But then I thought, if it's that easy to get on a list, I wonder how hard it would be to get off that list. And I was like, what do I gotta do to make sure that I never get on that list? And I thought, I'm pretty sure if I visit iloveamerica.com, the NSA will be like, this guy's one of us. He loves America. He's gotta be. Or maybe I should like refine my Google searches to be like more, ambiguous about like, why do privacy laws suck? Or Shakira law sucks. Ramadan is evil. What is Mecca? And how do I avoid it? The second Eid is just made up, so Muslims get an extra day off, right? But not everything that happened after 9/11 was bad. There were definitely terrible things that happened. But some good stuff. People became more educated about Islam, right? Like a lot of your friends probably started asking more questions. Why do you guys do this? Why do you guys do that? And it was awesome. They asked you about Quran. Except when they become a little too educated. Like my friend in college, he sat down next to me and he started to look up to me. He goes, hey, how come you don't pray 5 times a day? Hey, things got rough. And there's a lot of people to blame. There were a group of crazy Muslims that did something and we all have to suffer the consequences. The media doesn't really do a good job helping us out lately, right? But I think the worst thing is that not the worst thing, but one of the things that came about this was even non-Muslims have to deal with the fallout. Like we have our Sikh brothers who get persecuted. There's so many things that go wrong, and they have to bear the brunt also. And let's not forget about them. Even Obama, right? They accused him of being Muslim because his middle name was Hussein. Which is a little insane if you think about it, because if the President of the United States of America was actually a Muslim, there's no way he could hide it. It would be impossible. Like, the President's day is packed from, like, the moment he wakes up to the moment he falls asleep. So fitting in 5 prayers a day, secretively, would be impossible. Like, Mr. President, we're running out of time today, so we're going to have to cancel Zohar. Barbara, you can't cancel Zohar. That's not how it works. But they would learn. They would definitely figure it out. Like, Mr. President, we're running out of time today, so we've pre-selected some surahs for you to read. We suggest you go with Inna Atayna. That'll make sure we get to the Republican meeting on time. And then when he stands up to lead namaz, like, Ar-Rahman. Calm speaker in the house, we're going to be late again. We're going to be bitches today. Juma would be a little interesting, right? Like Juma, I don't know, a lot of you guys don't drive in New York, but in Texas, whenever you go to Juma, it's like the worst parking jam of all time, right? Like it takes you like 30 minutes driving around, like you spend more time looking for parking than actually listening to the khutbah. And if the president were to attend, it would just be chaos, right? Like, I remember when he visited the masjid in Baltimore, Like, I heard there's still people trying to get out of that parking lot. But there's one thing that he wouldn't have to worry about. If the president just walks up with a Secret Service agent and he's like, Bob, I want you to guard these shoes with your life. Right? Forget about taking a bullet. I want you to take these shoes and run. E-timing, still going to be a problem. Right? Like, Mr. President, the Prime Minister of Tokyo wants to know that if you'll be able to attend the fundraiser gala tomorrow. I don't know, Barbara. Has Ishna decided if it's tomorrow or day after tomorrow? Well, they did get a phone call from someone in Wyoming saying they saw the moon, but then they realized that's a prank call because there are no Muslims in Wyoming. Just as a side note, it's ridiculous that we still argue about whether we've seen the moon or not, right? Like, NASA can hear gravity. Like this right here, NASA's hearing this. And for some reason, Muslims can't see the moon. It doesn't make any sense. The Secret Service would have a whole new list of responsibilities. Like, there's like a new meeting going on in the Oval Office. Excuse me, Mr. Prime Minister, I'm going to have you remove your shoes before entering. We've just replaced the carpet. Or, we need all units to report to the bathroom in the West Wing. The president is throwing on his back trying to put his foot into the bathroom. Place it down. Photos hasn't compromised. Move. If he is at the fundraiser gala, because he was able to make it, he's like walking around, maybe taste testing some stuff. But only the most trained Secret Service agents would know. No, Mr. President, don't eat that egg roll! There's pork in the egg roll. Damn it, Billy, I told you to stop doing that. Anyways, you know, we're talking about a lot of stuff that's happened in this past years, right? And one thing that bothers me the most is that there are people out there who claim to be Muslim and are doing things like 9/11, whatever's going on overseas, and they try to warp our religion into something that it's not. And it's really frustrating to see all this. And I think I have another story that kind of just crystallizes what I'm talking about. So I had this coworker. His name is, I'm not going to tell you any names, but his name rhymes with Muhammad. And this is a guy that when you see him, you're like, man, that's a really good Muslim right there. I am not a good Muslim compared to that. He's got a really nice, long, like full, lustrous beard. It looks like it has like noor shining out of it because he puts like coconut oil in it twice a day. Like, it's insane. When he speaks Arabic, he pronounces everything like Zabiha, Halal, McDonald's. We had this new secretary that got hired, and I mean, yeah, she's very attractive, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna go spit some game. And he's like, Asif, is it worth it? And I was like, Bo? I call him Bo for short. Bo knows best. You're right, man. You're right. I shouldn't be doing this. When he sees you in this hallway, he says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Like, who has time for that? Dude, I got stuff to do today, man. So about a month into work, I realized Muhammad, he just kind of disappears. And he does this like every day, like routine clockwork. And it goes on for like 2 months, 3 months, and I was like, dude, what is going on? And no one says anything. So I confront him. I was like, Bo, what have you been doing, man? And he's like, I asked our boss, Dr. Ross, his name is Dr. Ross, if I could take some breaks and go pray. I was like, oh, dang, that's really awesome. You know, I should try to do the same thing. I should try to strive and make my prayers too. So I talked to Dr. Ross, and I was like, can I do the same thing and leave? And he's like, yeah, sure, but you guys can't leave at the same time. We need someone to be in the clinic at all times. You go, Bo goes, you guys alternate, figure it out by yourself. And I was like, that'd be cool. So this went smoothly for about a month. And then until one day, Dr. Ross confronts me after I finished praying, and he's like, hey, Asif, how come when you pray, it takes like 5 minutes? Zohar? Like, what is he doing for an hour? It's ridiculous. Is he making really elaborate wudu? Is he like reciting Surah Baqarah? Is he taking a subway to ICNYU? What? Is he doing the 4422 for Zohar? I mean, people are pious, but no one's that pious. Alright, so Tom was like, Dr. Russ, I'm assuming he's praying. I'm going to give my brother the benefit of the doubt. He's like, alright, forget this leaving at this separate times. Next time he goes to pray, I want you to follow him. And I felt morally torn at this point. Because on one hand, I'm like, what is he doing for an hour? I'm super curious. But on the other hand, I'm like, what is, it's messed up. Spying on my Muslim brother. And so, I decided to spy on him. I was like, I gotta know. I'm so curious. Like, who takes an hour for Zohar? So the next day, Hamid leaves, or Bo, sorry. Sorry, Hamid. So Bo goes to pray, whatever, we'll figure it out. And I wait like 30, 45 minutes, and then I go to the hallway and I just wait. And he never comes out. So I knock on the door. No response. No response again. And so I open the door, and this is what I see. I see Bo sitting on the sofa, next to Gina, the secretary, sharing headphones, staring at a laptop screen. And I was like, Bo! Come on, man, what is this? And he was like, no. There's a Noman Ali Khan video. I'm trying to teach you about Islam. I'm like, oh, really, Bo? Would Noman Ali Khan think this is Zabiha? Would he think this is halal? Oh, I thought you were down here praying the 4422, man. And this is what I'm talking about. People who take our religion, twist it, a religion that teaches honesty, integrity, peacefulness, and they just use it for their own selfish gain. And the worst part is, I gotta go to Dr. Ross and be like, so, there's this thing that's called the 4422, and he actually does it. Thank you.